So, man, it is very hard to look past Arman. Islam is who I favor. Islam is the heir apparent to Khabib. Khabib is the most dominant fighter we've ever had. I have data to back that statement up. That's not like a fan opinion. He's got more 10-8 rounds than anybody's most dominant fighter we've ever had. And he says that Islam's the guy. But this Arman, man, he's different. He's different. He was not fully ready for Islam the first time. He still won 2 rounds. I favor Islam to answer your question, but Arman's a very good fighter.
Tough. I was watching the interview. He say he wants to finish Islam Makhachev. That's going to be very hard, but on his last fight, Islam Makhachev, we could see some holes on his game, right? Dustin Poirier did a great fight against him, and I think Arman is a very good fighter, a very good wrestler. Let's see. It's so tough to see where this fight is going because Makhachev is so good at wrestling, you know, and I think Dustin, he did good because he's a great boxer. So I don't know if Arman has the same level of boxing of Dustin Poirier. So that's why I'm not sure. But for sure it's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah. These two are matched, and Islam carries a little bit of a, this wasn't as close as people are trying to make it seem. Because Islam, even if it's unfair, carries an expectation like no one else. Dustin Poirier lost 4 rounds to Islam and then got submitted in the 5th. And everybody applauded Dustin for how well he did. Honestly, Islam at least feels Arman is getting that same type of push when he doesn't truly deserve it because he doesn't feel it was that close a fight. I think this is the fight. I think it's the best fight for this division because I think they're the 2 best in the world.
Arman is really good. His grappling is really good. He's grown in terms of his hands and things like that. And I believe Islam has grown as well. I believe that fight with Dustin Poirier gave him something just from the experience. It was just something that all that experience and all that time and the level that Dustin came in at, and for him to come in and perform the way he did, I don't know. I think that's going to be a great fight.
Oh, that's a banger card. And Islam versus Arman, mate, that fight is going to answer all the questions every fan has. Period.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Because I'm not going to go into it too much, but everyone wants to know how good Arman is, and everyone wants to know how good Islam is. And that fight is going to tell you, clean cut.
I mean, I think it's pretty similar. I mean, they fought before already, but it's pretty similar to this last matchup. It comes down to endurance pressure and who wants it more. Islam's been on top for a long time, but he's a better striker. I think he's more rangy. He's more like, people don't give him credit for what he deserves because he's good on the feet. I think he can hit hard, and he's getting better. He's getting more confident. He's good everywhere else too. I think he's a longer guy. I think he can get off on shots.
Do you think?
I think he wins scrambles and create dominant position. I would use Islam actually for like my 4th and my 5th rounds.
Yeah,
he would come in. He was big enough to and he was pretty good. That I could work with him back in the day. And he'd come in and I remember he came in and I was like, all right, low guy. I was like, do my thing. And then I got caught up against the wall and he just tossed me head and arm, just threw him at 5-pointer. Well, I'll tell you what, Arman could not take me down, so I'm going to go with Islam.
Oh, no.
It's a very tough fight for Islam. This is going to be his toughest fight today. Yeah. And I go back to throughout all his fights. And outside of the first fight with Volkanovski, only based off of the weight cut situation, that was a very tough fight for him to have to power through on that, just knowing that his body pretty much shut down.
Yeah.
But I think with the full recovery, this fight's going to be still one of the toughest fights he's ever fought. And so when I look at the fight in an entirety, I think, of course, I think Islam's going to win. And there is a little bias there. I'm being 100% honest. There is some bias there. But this will be his toughest fight today.
I asked for a better fight. Lightweight division, we got the 2 top guys there. Islam has proven, he is a incredible champion, a guy that it's going to be hard to take the title from. But if you're going to look for the style of fighter to possibly take that title from, you're looking at the guy in Tsarukyan. Arman Tsarukyan can wrestle his ass off. His stand-up has gotten way better. He's getting smarter as a fighter. They have already fought once before, and Islam was able to get the win, but Sarukian is saying that is from a long time ago and it's going to be different this time. And words are great, but actions are better, and we're going to see what's going to happen.
So a couple of mistakes I did that fight. And I spent a lot of energy when I wanted to take him down, so I shouldn't, because he defends very well. He defended very well, and I should like mix striking with wrestling. So I should more strike that day than wrestle. Sometimes the close fight they give for the champ, so that's why we gotta show that we are way better than him. No, I wanna finish him. It's a goal. Always a goal to finish him and not let judges to judge me.
So I think Islam's going to win, and the reason why I think that is because, Islam slows down in his fights. What I'm saying is nothing new. Everybody knows that. But when they fought, Arman actually slowed down more than Islam. So I think that tells you that that's a big advantage.
Sarukian has definitely developed in that time, but to me he hasn't like radically transformed. He hasn't become something altogether different, and neither has Makhachev, but he was kind of already ahead of him anyway. This fight can be won by Sarukian, but if there's been one thing against him, it's not his cardio, it's not his wrestling, it's not his scrambling, it's not his athleticism, it's not his power. It has been that he focuses so much on control that he doesn't have enough like bandwidth for ground and pound. And that's going to be a tough assignment against a guy like Makhachev. And if Makhachev can stuff these takedowns, or he's the one that gets on top, I don't know how Sarukian wins that. He doesn't necessarily have a great guard or the ability to threaten from the back, or you name it. So it's still a lot of the same fault lines from their first fight.
But maybe I was underestimating because he's
Short notice.
Nobody know him, and he don't have name, and I never watch his fight, and he did well in that fight, but I like to finish the all questions, when I have with Volkanovski the fight, I told everybody I have to I have to finish the questions and finish, That's why the second fight, I will be looking for the finish.
I will say that Islam looked amazing last fight. I think his strike, I think he wrestles like Khabib with way better striking. His striking is on leagues above what Khabib could do. And he's dangerous. He's so good. I just don't think he's had the chances to really display it. I know he's highlighted a lot since then, but I still think he's still building that legacy.
The first fight, and I don't know his background, He defends my wrestling. He give me just, he's tough. That's why he give me hard time. But now I know everything what he can do, Charles, every round almost finish him. Do some guillotine, do some triangle choke, like everything very close, but I think I have more chance. But it's gonna be same, I don't see something he have more than me, honestly. Wrestling or grappling or striking, he have same. He will be one day champion maybe when I retired, but now we're in the different level.
I agree. I think, like I said, if you're going to ask for the style of fighter that is going to give Islam this toughest challenge, it's Arman. The guy can wrestle his ass off. Like I said, his stand-up has gotten much better, but this is why you fight the fight. Just because someone won the first one doesn't mean they're going to win the second one. It's always tougher to win the second one against someone, I always say, but can it be done? If it can be done, Islam will do it. This is, like I said, as good as a matchup as you can get in life.